Good evening and welcome to IntellectualRadio.com with Here's the Life with Zemrah and Ed. And we're so happy to be back. We've been just busy. And finally got a lot of things done that we have been working on in our home. We really and truly are really excited about that. And that's how I came up with talking about determination, being determined to do what you say you're going to do and do it. But one of the things we want to do, first of all, is to wish you a very, very happy new year and hope that your year so far is going exactly like you would like it to go. And to be determined as to what it is that you want to do. You know, we make all these resolutions and all of that. And half the time we don't keep them. But that's where the determination comes in at, is whatever you decide that you want to do, make up in your mind to do it and just do it and stick to it. And that's the key to it.
Resolution should be a promise that you make to yourself. Make yourself a promise.
Yeah.
And do it.
Yeah. And that's what it takes. And once you do that, then you know that you're on the right path to your accomplishments. That's one of the things when we were working around and doing some things in our home. I was determined that I was not going to bring in 2023 with things out of order and not exactly like I wanted it to be. And I stuck with it. I used my vacation time, and it just feels so good when you succeed at that which you set out to do.
Yeah, and then some of our contractors have a nervous breakdown because Betty was on their case.
Zemrah
was on their case night and day.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be, because sometimes people don't always be as responsible as they think you might think they are, or even that they might think they are. And so you just have to be on top of stuff if you really want something.
Require a little push.
Yeah. Because I even had to do a little pushing on you. So, I mean, it just really and truly, and it makes you feel really good, really proud when you accomplish the things that you set out to do. It just makes it all worthwhile.
That's the thing. People don't want to make themselves a promise, because then they almost have to keep it. Then they have to go through this whole list of reasons why they can't do it. So they make themselves a promise, or to even set a goal. Because if they set a goal, then everybody knows about it, and they know if you don't reach it.
Well, one of the things about goals, and this is the way I've always been, and that, things that I set out to do, I do make myself accountable, and I make myself the promise. But one thing about goals, and one thing about when we talk about dreams and aspirations and determination, that's a private thing. So most of the things that I set out to do, no one knows anything about it but me, and I'll share it with Ed. But basically, even the best of the best that I know, I don't always say it or tell it, because you want to make sure that you stay focused. You don't want anybody else steering you in the direction that they might think you should go. And then sometimes, people get a little discouraging. They get that little jealousy going on, that envy. And so I've always been the kind of person that I keep what I'm doing to myself until it becomes a reality. And once just like when I opened my boutique, nobody knew anything until I was sending out my grand opening announcement. Same thing with my first CD. And didn't nobody know anything about it until I sent out my flyer of my release party. So, and a lot of times, if you were to have to take a step back for whatever reason, or like you're saying about, people look at you as it's disappointing or whatever, but that way you don't put yourself in that position. And I tell people that too, just kind of keep things to yourself. As you embrace it and as you figure things out, you keep it to yourself until it happens,
Yeah,
or you
see,
see that you're on the path
but
where it's in the
that's
process.
such a difficult thing to do.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Well, I see
What
it's
what's
difficult.
difficult?
It's difficult to keep any big dream that you have for yourself to yourself until
Why?
you get it done.
Why?
Because you're so proud of the stuff that you made a promise to yourself that you made some strides towards doing it. And you go about bragging about it and telling your friends. And then you find out that your best friends are the most discouraging people of all. Trying to tell you why you want to do that. You ain't got no money for that. When you gonna find time? They're always discouraging, and you tell yourself they mean well, but they really don't.
Yeah. Well, it just depends on the company that you keep. I can say that people that are discouraging, then you don't really have them in your pathway
Well,
anyway.
that's something you have to learn in life. Is about who do you hang with, who company are you keeping,
But we always say that. Yeah.
right? Because you're judged by the books you read and the company you keep.
Yeah.
So, and then you find out that I've got to change my whole group of references of my whole group of people that I hang with in order to be successful. This group of people may not be qualified to go where you need to go.
Yeah.
They may not be qualified. So that's a lesson. That's another lesson you have to learn. Before that, then you find out these people that I do know aren't qualified to accompany me where I'm going. Or you may look around and most of the people you know, and you may have to go by yourself and find some new friends.
Well, a lot of times too, the most important thing is that when you the company you keep is always so important. You always want to keep people that are up. And I think, and I always say this, that's one of the things that I love about Pam, is that her spirit is always so up. She's a happy-go-lucky person.
And
And so she's always a pleasant person to be around.
that's your songwriter.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they
Pam.
know Pamela Wilkes. They know her as many times she come on our show. That's our relationship. What does she call it? Guru. But anyway, when
Enthusiast.
yeah, enthusiast. Yeah, that's what she likes. But when you're around people, like we always say, that mindset, the people that think like you do, have the same kind of thoughts and hopes and dreams that you do. They are encouraging and uplifting and positive like you are, and they're happy spirited. When you surround yourself, and I can basically say that the people in our circle are like that. We all have. That's why our group is so wonderful, because we tend to have a good mindset, a business head, prosperity,
Mentality.
supportive of one another. I couldn't ask for any more support than our group. And so the people that we have, and again in our circle, are very encouraging, very uplifting, and it just makes it so wonderful. So we don't have to worry about the
The
negativity and the
naysayers.
right. No, they are very, very, always so very happy for us. But one of the things, though, that I still say, that regardless of that, and I've never feared that or shunned away from that, is that I still say that it's important when you have a dream or you have a goal that you want to meet. You sit down, you jot it down. Journals are always good to start the year out with your aspirations and your dreams and your thoughts and your as your spirit guides you, and just write your thoughts down, no matter how insignificant you might think it is, or how unimportant you might think it is, or how silly some people might. Well, that's kind of
Or you might
silly.
feel that it's just too big.
Yeah,
I
and
can't
dreams are never too
too much
big.
to accomplish in my lifetime,
No.
which is what they should be.
Oh, you always want to dream big, and then just as you go, sometimes you'll be surprised how big dreams come true. I mean, it just depends on your ability to work through any type of obstacles, because one of the things that you have to understand is that failure is not failure. Failure is growth. That's how you grow. I mean, if you make a mistake, if you fall, you get up and keep it moving. That's what I always say. Just keep it moving. And one of the things that I always like to stress, no matter what, is don't let age be a stipulation of what you want to do. Don't let age stop you. You don't stop because of your age. You don't stop because of money. You don't stop because somebody else is saying, well, maybe you should wait. You don't let anything stop you if you have your mind. It's all about having a made up mind. And when you got a made up mind, there is nothing that you cannot accomplish. So what we're saying this evening, is to make sure that for this new year, like they say, 2023 is about me. Don't let that be a thought where you think that you're being selfish because you're saying 2023 is about me. Let it be a thought of, this is about me because I have some things that I want to accomplish, and this is the year to do it. And don't let anybody discourage you from that or make you feel like, well, maybe you should hold up on that, or maybe you should just maybe do it this way or that way. Do it the way that you see fit and watch what happens. I just really and truly believe that.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
Think about it is, you probably somebody's going to tell you, well, you said the same thing last year. And that therein lies the reason for not telling anybody. Once you make up your mind what you're going to do, get started, get it moving, get the ball rolling, and work on it. And try to keep as much of that information to yourself and just tell everybody, I'm working on something.
Yeah. And if you said it last year,
Say it again.
say it again, and say it with more
Enthusiasm,
enthusiasm, more power
more
within
energy.
yourself, more energy. And again, just watch what happens. But it's all about 23 is all about me and making things happen for yourself. Don't let anything or anybody stop you from what you want to accomplish. And that's where I say determination. Determination. What is your definition of determination? You need to. What is
So,
determination?
well, determination is being able to stick to what your goal is, and stick to what your dreams are, and to overcome any obstacles. And no matter what gets in your way, you do not stop. You never stop trying. But you never get discouraged about trying because you know that's just one less thing that you know that doesn't work. Again, it makes you closer to the thing that does. So it's not a step back, it's a step forward because you just eliminated something that does not. The same way that what's the guy that invented Graham Bell, like he invented the telephone. He had 1,000 things that never worked. They said, "Why you keep doing it?" He said, "Because I'm almost closer to what does." He said, "I'm 1,000 experience closer to what that does work, because something does work." And is there anything on your mind that you think that you want to do, don't stop because every time you think about it, every time you put it in your head, you put it in the universe.
Yeah.
And the universe starts to move to give you what you want because that's where your head is made.
Yeah, because I think one of the things we did too, the pandemic had you so thrown off and had, just kind of throwed everything off. And you still kind of feel a little spillover of it, but you can't allow um, that piece to stop you and say, well, because some people still have a fear about being around a lot of people. Although things are opening up, you still got some places that still have their stipulations, just
Yeah.
like with church. They still have the seats kind of, where they got just a few seated here and seated there. And so, kind of still scattered. And I think one of the things that you have to grab hold of is how you think, and again your mindset on what it is that you want to do for you and yours. And I think that's what people have to keep in mind. So the key is determination, not stopping. Encourage yourself. Listen to encouraging podcasts like ours that gives you encouragement and gives you that pump. And through all uh, good spirits and all excitement, like I'm excited for some things. I'm not announcing it right now. Like I said, you when flyers go out and all of that, then you'll see what's going on, and soon we will be announcing some good things. But I have been, working on some things behind the scenes and coming up with some good ideas for this year, for 2023, for Zemrah and Company. And just want to stay on the path that will get me to the point that I will be really, really out there. With me working a lot of times, I don't get a chance always to get on Facebook. I don't, and I said that even when I got so many beautiful, beautiful birthday messages, December 27th for my birthday. And I just said, that I apologize maybe for those birthdays in December that I might have missed, or November, anytime that I might have missed. And I took the time to wish those that had birthdays in November, December, happy birthday, because you don't always get a chance to get on
Did
Facebook.
you miss mine?
Funny. So when you're busy and working 5 days a week, sometimes things you can't always do everything. But the reason why I work is, again, because me working does give me the opportunity to, and allows me the opportunity to do the things that I want to accomplish and do. So that's one of the things, one of the choices that I made when I started working full time, a job. And I'm in the industry that I've always worked in, the healthcare industry with Medicare. And so it just allots me and gives me the opportunity to do the things and to work with my dreams, because let's face it, it does take revenue to do and accomplish. You don't have to always worry about it, because sometimes through different, when you get people to sponsorship, that's what I'm trying to say. When you get people to sponsor some of the things that you do, that's also definitely a plus. But when I say not that you need revenue to do things, you don't allow, and that's something that I've never done, I've never allowed not having necessarily finances to stop me preparing and doing the things that I need to do to go forth. So when you get, you make the preparation. So when you get the funds, and all you got to do is just go right in there and just make things happen and make things work. So that's always been my mindset as well. So that's what I mean when I say you don't let money or finances stop you. Still go forward and do your preparation. So when you get your everything lined up, then you can always ask for sponsorship and from your local stores that you've supported, or your doctor's office, your dentist, all those kind of things. So those are just some other things, a little food for thought that I want you to keep in mind for this year. When we talk about 2023, it's about me, and keeping that mindset. We have some guests. We're having Dr. Gwendolyn Odom back with us. She'll be coming. We have Bishop Carlton Pearson coming back. Bishop, in the beginning of the year, he sent us a Happy New Year. And one of the things that he was saying, and I told him I wanted him to really come on and talk a little bit about that, is that he predicted that this will be a volatile year, also a pitiful year, but it will be a powerful year. So those are things I wanted him to really break that down and explain to us what he really meant by that. Because some of the things that he said last year would occur, he was on the money. He really was. So looking forward to having him back. And then for Black History Month, we have we have Pamela coming back, Pamela Wilkes, to come back and talk about some of the things that I want her to be able to share, some of the things that she's doing. She has some wonderful continued prayers that she's working on. And then she has a wedding book that is just so wonderful, and just some wonderful things that she's working on that will be so good for people to be able to benefit from. And then we
Doctor,
have what?
good doctor's coming on too.
Doctor
The,
Who?
the one was talking to Pam about the
Oh, and then we have
Sister Wendy says,
Dr. Gilly Wallace is going to come back. Matter of fact, I want to make an announcement about the Veterans Initiative, which we just really and truly love what they are doing for veterans. And for 2023, they have some wonderful things lined up. For the veterans, that is just the veterans out there. If you know veterans, I promise you, you have really, you must share this. The Christ Universal Temple Multi Faith Veterans Initiative will host an enrollment day for all senior war veterans on Sunday, January 29th at 12 o'clock noon. And that's 11901 South Ashland. And most people know where Christ Universal Temple is. Every veteran should enroll to the experience, the Honor Flight Chicago. The Honor Flight Chicago, which is an all expensive paid day trip to Washington, D.C. to tour Veterans Monument, the Veterans Museum, be honored and celebrated for your service. And I mean, this is something they pay for everything. They fly you into Washington, D.C., and give you a tour of the Veteran Monument and also the Veteran Museum. Ed has never been.
And they also serve dinner.
And they serve you lunch or
Lunch,
dinner,
whatever.
whatever. But anyway, and so Christ Universal Temple, the Multi Faith Veterans Initiative, they will be doing that enrolling all senior war veterans on Sunday, July 29th at 12 o'clock noon. So you don't want to miss this. Tell your, if you have a brother, if you have a dad, whoever served in the war, they get an opportunity to travel to Washington, D.C. And if you've been in the airport and you've seen all of the veterans all together, that is the trip that they are taking to Washington, D.C. to be able to share in that experience. And the way it's described, it is a day spent that you will not forget. And that's one of the things that in 2023 that they are really doing a lot of, I mean, they've done some great things anyway since we've been involved with Yvonne and the Veterans Initiative and what they've been doing. I think they've been doing some wonderful, wonderful things. So be sure and share that so you can partake. Again, that Sunday, January 29th at 12 o'clock noon. So that is right after their church service. You know, at Christ Universal, they don't make no federal case out of their message. They get their message in and they get you out. So at 12 o'clock, right after their service, they will be enrolling veterans for the Honor Flight Chicago. And you know, we have got to learn to take advantage of things. That's another thing when we talk about being determined and to accomplish goals, is that's one thing that we have got to learn, that we are entitled to these type of things as well. You know, your other veterans of color, they've been on this flight. They didn't been took advantage of it. And when you look at our numbers in our color, they have not, most of them have not experienced this. So that is why they are stressing that they want, because it might even take, for some, it might take a little longer for you to be able to get to go, because I think they have like a 2-year waiting list or something.
Just get on the
So
list.
just get on the list. And believe me, the Veterans Initiative, they're going to be pushing forward for you to be able to make this trip. So we want you to be able to take advantage of that. And that's one of the opportunities that we've got to, one of the things rather, that we've got to learn to do is to take advantage. When we get these opportunities, jump right on it. Don't procrastinate. Don't wait. Don't stop. Get in line in your rightful place and be able to take advantage of these opportunities, because these opportunities for veterans are here. And one of the things too that they work on, there are a lot of veterans that don't get an opportunity to benefit from not having to pay. If you get at a certain percentage in Illinois, you don't even have to pay property taxes anymore if you own your own home. And these are the things that that is their goal, to make sure that you benefit from these benefits. Because I see signs when I was driving to work this morning, I saw a big sign, take advantage of VA benefits. And a lot of times, again, and I always like to stress that, a lot of times we don't take advantage of the opportunities that we complain,
Yeah, but a
unfortunately.
lot of times we don't take advantage of it because we don't know about it,
Right.
because we were never told about it.
Right. But a lot of times we have the opportunity also, and they know about it, and they don't jump on it like they
Well,
should.
that's
So that's a
that's
sign
the
of,
purpose of the Veterans Initiative,
yeah.
to make sure more and more people take advantage of it.
Yeah, but you got to take advantage of it when it's told to you.
Well,
Then that's what I'm saying. You got to jump right on
as
it.
soon as I get my voice back, I'm gonna tell a lot more people.
Yeah, what is wrong with your voice?
Go in.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our story, and we're sticking to it. Again, put that on your calendar, January 29th at 12 o'clock noon at Christ Universal Temple at 11901 South Ashland. And if you have any questions, any additional questions, I want you to contact Dr. Gilly Wallace. She will be joining us for Black History Month. And you contact her at 630 240-7358. That's 630-240-7358. And she's exploding with this, to be able to help the veterans. Her brother's veteran. Her dad was a veteran. I mean, she has family members that were veterans, and she stands by that. And they also always push the female side of veterans too. The last luncheon that they had at the at the Oakland Hilton on 95th Street in November was for Veterans Day, was absolutely phenomenal. They had uh, a program that was just phenomenal. And the people were there that signed up for this Honor Flight Chicago. So they're doing some wonderful things. I don't ever have a problem announcing it, because it is all worth it for our veterans. When you see veterans out here begging and veterans out here hungry, we don't want that for 2023. We want our veterans for it to be all about me. We want it to be all about our veterans as well. So on that note, we're going to hear a little bit from Love is Possible CD. And that is a prelude from my What's Going On. And that's what we're going to say. What's going on? Ask yourself what's going on in your life for 2023. And you want it to be all about me, and make sure that you keep yourself up, keep yourself positive. And I want you to check out continue to check out my CD, Love is Possible. Great CD. And we're working on something else coming up that I'm really excited about. So, more to come. 2023 is about me. Again, we're here at IntellectualRadio.com every Tuesday from 6 to 7, unless I have some other things going on. I'm looking going into the studio. And so, when you don't see me, just know that I'm working on some good things. And we love our podcasts and love bringing you positive information, love bringing you positive guests. So I'm lining things up, and just know that it's all good in this space. So we hope you have a good evening. Thanks for joining us here at intellectualradio.com with Here's the Life with Zemrah and Ed. Have a good evening.
That's me.